Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and we've got a lot of pictures today, so let's see what they are. Today is the 7th of November, and that photo was made right after we did our previous week's short takes, which was on October 31st. So we're saying goodbye to October. It was beautiful. There, some of the trick-or-treaters, we had a bunch of those at my house that night after I left here, and had some neat costumes. Pretty little girls and children were hungry for candy. Okay, did I show this last week? Well, I don't think so, but it was made maybe the 1st of November. And, of course, it's a nice dragonfly. And the close-up was best, but you see it was out on the trail at Pinnacle Prairie. And let's see, those are Sporanthes orchid family members, and we've had them for about 3 or 4 weeks now. We've had a photo or two of these online when we did our short takes because they've been persistent. They may be gone by the time you get out looking around on a prairie and see if you can find any of those. May have all been frozen out. That's rattlesnake master. There are 2 insects on there, and the close-up shows them a little better, but this is how the rattlesnake master looks in the wettest portion of Pinnacle Wet Prairie. You can see the background of willow trees and other tall grass and tall forbs, and of course that's early November, and things are really going to seed. So it's kind of sad because tonight, on the 7th of November, I had to drive in the dark to get down here at 5:45 or 5:47. That's David Whitaker in the dark shirt there, and he's running for state legislature. I think we had Adela Gray. She's running in another ward a couple of weeks ago, maybe. She's announced also. And there is a man who studies the Inuits, the Eskimos of the Arctic, and he lectured at the Fayetteville Public Library, and he was sponsored by the Sierra Club and the Omni Center's carbon caps. No, we don't call it that anymore. It's Climate Change Task Force. There's David Druding and Mr. Hale and a lady with a great smile over there. And they've been enjoying the program, but there were tears in the eyes of a lot of people at the end of that show when Carl there finished his program, because the Inuits, the Eskimos, are suffering. Their climate is changing so fast. They cannot depend on the hunting that they used to do and the fishing. And the result is that they may be forced into trying to learn new skills. And he pointed out how the old people were so spiritual and so wonderful and loved their life. Okay, these are sample pages from the plan for the sale barn property to become student apartments right up next to the National Cemetery. National Cemetery would be on your left. That's a photo looking right, and of course that's wetland down there on the north edge and around the eastern edge, and even to the west, just off the National Cemetery over there. So we're not happy to see that happen. Anyway, till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya. Hello, it's Aubrey Shepherd again, and we want to look at a few pictures from early November 2011. And these are some flowers that are still blooming on World Peace Wetland Prairie this week. And of course, today as we record, it's the 7th of November. They may all be frozen out. Some patches of them are gone already, and those are hanging on. All right. I showed you rattlesnake master, and there's one of the tiny insects on it. And it's just a wonderful plant, a wetland indicator plant, wet prairie plant. That's World Peace Wetland Prairie. Again, early November, and there's still quite a lot of color out there, various things. That's the Tanglewood branch combined with the Spout Spring branch at 15th Street. And it's called Spout Spring at that point when it comes out of Walker Park. That's a tiny snake that survived into early November and got mashed or bitten by a dog or something. And there you see some interesting insects. Again, early November, still pollinating these tiny asters and nectaring on them. That's close up of that little snake's head. That is a very tiny thing, and I hope somebody identifies it for me. You can call me at home, 444-6072, if you know the species of that snake. That's an insect that's in some of those other pictures, and I just happen to get several good views of it, and I like it. And I usually don't see it with its wings spread out like that. And of course, those are flower flies. That's Liatris, a very late blooming example of Liatris, and it's a low growing species. That's in the ladybug family, and I looked and looked online trying to find exactly which species of that category it is in. Couldn't do it. Somebody can please tell me what that is. You can also email me at aubreyshepherd@hotmail.com. More. Just love these tiny asters. I can't stress too much how important they are to the pollinators late in the year. Okay, there's Mayor Lionel Jordan on the left, our left. Looking at it is Martha Agee on the right, Bonnie Cook, and in the background, we see Louise Mann. They were on the square, and of course, I was down there for a fairly short time last Saturday, but I caught several people. That's the lady who protects the old houses in the city. And there is the seed pod of the Sinantium neva, or whatever. But anyway, it's a vine, a climbing milkweed. And that's a river birch, a young river birch that always requires watering because it's growing a little too far uphill on the World Peace Wetland Prairie, not in the lowest part of the flow. That's a view from the Sale Barn property to the east. That would be South School Avenue running past there. And got to get back to those red salvia plants with that little tiny spider right the center of one of them. Those little spiders hide in flowers and wait for something tasty to come along. Until next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd, once again asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green, and protect your pollinators by protecting native